Hello everybody and welcome back to our Dark Souls 3 walkthrough for Elden Ring players. Today's walkthrough is going to be kind of short because the Road of Sacrifices is a shorter area. It's only a means to get to our next location. So I thought I'd take a little bit of advantage and talk about shields. Shields work pretty much the same way as they do in Elden Ring, except for the fact that they hold a little more value only because you don't have spirit ashes and you're left on your own to fend for yourself. So we're going to go ahead and compare and contrast these two different types of shields, starting with the Knight Shield and the Caduceus Shield. Now, both of these shields are in two different classes. The Caduceus Round Shield is in the small shield, and the Knight Shield is considered a medium shield. Now, both of these have their different advantages, starting with the Knight Shield being having more guard absorption. If you look at that stat on the middle column under guard absorption, it has physical 100%. What that means is that if I block an attack with this weapon or with the shield, it'll block 100%, so I will not take any physical damage with this weapon. Now, that doesn't mean that it blocks all damage. If you attack me with magic attack or fire attack, you could still get hurt even if you block. But if you block with this shield, you won't get any physical damage. So if you compare that with the Caduceus shield, you'll find that it only has 52% reduction. So if I block this shield, I could still get hurt in comparison to the medium shield. In addition, you could look at a stat called stability, which is all the way at the bottom. The Knight Shield has 48, whereas the Caduceus has 39. Now, what the stability stat does is that the higher the stability stat is, the less stamina consumed when you block an attack. So having a higher stability stat is beneficial so that your stamina doesn't deplete as quickly. In other words, you'd be able to block more attacks before your stamina runs out. And that may be something that you are looking for in a shield. So you bring up the question, why would you use a small shield? Well, the benefits to a small shield is, first of all, they're lighter. So if you're trying to stay under 70% weight ratio, which is the weight ratio required to have a medium roll and not a heavy roll, then the small shield might be beneficial to you. In addition, if you're trying to parry or you're trying to learn how to parry, the small shield might appeal to you because it has more parry animations, more iframes for parrying. So I think it's an additional 2 parry animations, so that may not seem like a lot, but it helps out if you're trying to learn that muscle memory for blocking. And we haven't gotten any heavier shields in the heavy shield class, but you'll find that the heavy shields, they have a high strength requirement, and sometimes that could put people off because they're not trying to make strength build, so they're not trying to invest all those stats into strength. But the heavy shields, if you have a strength class, they might be beneficial to you. They usually have higher guard absorptions, and they also have higher stability. But they also come with the drawback of being heavier, so you might want to invest more in vitality, which allows you to raise your weight ratio, or you can slot in rings that modify your weight ratio as well. Alright, enough about shields. We're gonna go ahead and get started here. Now in this area, it's a lot shorter, but you'll find mostly demi-human enemies, which is like this enemy up ahead. And all of these enemies, they have 2 stages. You'll see him try to transform into his second stage, which is a winged creature. If you allow him to transform into that winged creature, they are a lot more aggressive, And they have this very annoying attack where they jump above your range of attack or your field of view as well. And it's kind of hard to get at them while they're winged. So they can be kind of annoying. I try to kill them off before they transform. But you'll find that the game kind of groups them up together so that it's a little difficult to take them out at once. Just be aware that they can transform. In addition, you'll find, you see that guy over there with the staff? He can do a shriek, and if he shrieks, he causes them to transform immediately. So try to take them out before they transform. These guys with the staff, they also have a poisonous like smoky thing that they do to try to keep you away. And they can also drop that staff, which is actually not a bad staff. That poison effect is pretty useful in PvP and trying to poison your enemies. Alright, so now that we've cleared that area, I'm also gonna fight an NPC here. Now, this is not an NPC invader, but they are hostile, so watch out. This NPC here is actually not too hard. They're easy to stagger, but they have a pretty good weapon, so watch out. Once she sharpens that weapon, she could be kind of devastating. But otherwise, it's a pretty easy fight. And she drops that weapon as soon as she dies. In addition, if you go down to the area where she came from, you'll find the Brigand Set, and you'll find the Brigand Daggers, which is one of the few weapons in this game that you can actually dual wield. So usually in Elden Ring, it's easy to dual wield weapons. You just have to put two of the same type of weapons in each hand. But this game actually doesn't let you true wield. You could still slot another sword on your left hand, but you won't be able to do true combos with them. The only weapons that allow you to do that are weapons that have paired weapons, such as these two brigand knives. Or if you started with the mercenary class, you'll have the dual curved swords, which is actually a pretty good weapon. But other than that, there are very few weapons that you could dual wield. So we're gonna head up to this location first. Now these guys are vulnerable to that backstab, so as they're transforming, it could be beneficial to work your way around them and just backstab them. Up ahead is kind of a tricky area. I like to take my time here because if you run right in there, you might get devastated by all these guys that transform. So what I like to do is I like to lure them in with a bow or a ranged weapon, whatever you have on you. You're not trying to do this for damage, you're just trying to do them to lure them towards you. So just try to get them to come at you one by one. And I find that on top of this bridge here is a good location to get their attention. Once they transform into their winged form, they'll come at you more aggressively. And it could take a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it. Just because you definitely don't want to run in there while they're all coming at you at the same time. I forgot that guy in front of the bridge. So we're just gonna take our time here, lure them at us. I try to take them out from on top of this bridge because if you get too close and lure them while you're really close, it causes the staff dude that's standing right behind him to aggro all of them on you, and that's not a good thing. A few more guys here, and then we'll be done. Alright, so there's still a few guys left, but what we're gonna do is there's a secret area down below us, and we're gonna get to that area before we cross that bridge. You can access it by going right here and falling down. There's gonna be 2 dogs, but if you use your shield to block the first one, the second one is actually not too hard. Just use your shields and don't panic, because if you panic, it's possible to fall off of this area here. And here we are going to find our first tome, Braille tome, which you could give to the blind priestess that we saved in the last video. In case you're making a miracle build, a faith build, you'll be able to get more miracles. Now for this guy, I like to walk up slowly. He's a red-eyed demi-human, so if he aggroes, he could be kind of devastating. It's better just to walk up behind him and backstab him. Same with these guys here. That's that annoying attack that I don't like. Last guy here, he's not too hard now by himself. Easy peasy. Now that took a little bit of time, but I think this is the easiest way to get through this area. Otherwise, you'd get crowded by all of them trying to fight them off in this bridge, and it's very likely that you'll fall off. So, all we gotta do now is make it to the checkpoint, which is right around the corner. If you guys playing in online mode, this area here is a pretty nice early PvP location. Just use a soapstone or use a red eye orb, and you can get invaded, or you can invade people here and show off your early PvP skills. So we're gonna go ahead and light this bonfire, and we'll talk to these NPCs here.
Oh, hello. How do you do? I am Anri of Astora, unkindled like you. This is Horace, a friend and travelling companion. Are you too in search of the Lords of Cinder? We are well along the road of sacrifices. Below us is the Crucifixion Woods. Beyond the flooded woods lies Farron Keep, home of the Undead Legion. Further yet is the Cathedral of the Deep. We seek the cathedral, home of the grim Aldrich. We may go our separate ways now, but we are both seekers of lords. The next time we cross paths, one may find the other in a time of need. May the flames guide your way. Oh yes, Horace. He's not very talkative. But don't think ill of him. He's an upstanding, kind-hearted knight, a fine partner for this grueling journey. Without his help, I would have cursed this onerous duty long ago. We are well along the road of beyond we make the next time we may the flames
Horace,
guide your way.
he reminds me of Channing Tatum's Gimp, but he's a cool character. So, what Horace gave us is actually one of the covenants, and pretty interesting covenant. Earlier, we got this Way of the Blue covenant, which helps you out in case you get invaded. It automatically causes a player to be summoned to help you out with the invader that took over your world. But if in the other covenant, the Blue Sentinels, is actually the response to this covenant. So if somebody's world were to be invaded and they were wearing this Way of the Blue, if you have this other covenant slotted, you will be the one that gets summoned to that other player's world to help them out. So these two reciprocate each other, and I think that's a pretty cool feature in this game, where you guys could help each other out in case you get invaded, just to watch each other's back and stuff. Alright, so I think that's it for this playthrough. Thank you for joining us, and in the next playthrough we're going to get to the next location, which is right beyond these doorways. It's a pretty big location, so it might take a few episodes to get through. But anyways, thank you for joining us.